As Soon as Impossible is a comedy about friendship in a time of war.
The best way to describe As Soon as Impossible, it's kind of an exploration.
This play is about many topics. It is about coming out. It is about being Arab American. It is about being an almost retired person. It's about friendship between generations.
The play also asks you to look at what happens when you make an assumption, when you hear something, and what happens when that assumption goes unchecked.
It's the story of two men who are on kind of the cusp of their retirement, encountering their grandchildren who are on the cusp of exploring and venturing out as college students.
It's really fast-paced. It's only a 95 minute show, and there's only 4 performers, so all of us are just constantly moving around, and how small and close-knit the cast has to be, it's become this really collaborative performance and process where we've all been bouncing ideas off of one another and just having a great time doing that.
I'm so excited to share this particular play, which I think is my most potent play, because it deals with some of the things that I am obsessed with, like race and gender, but it does it with a light touch.
As Soon as Impossible is an Arab American comedy by an Arab American playwright for an audience that really wants to have a great night out and relate to a culture and a people in a very healthy and safe way.
What is it to be an American? A country made by immigrants.
And I always think if you are going to deal with those kinds of issues, you got to make people laugh. And none of these 4 characters are unflawed, shall we say. And I think that's where the heart of the comedy lies.
So we go to Lake Berryessa, which is on the Stanford stage, of course, and we have 2 grandparents and a grandchild, and they're ready to spend their whole summer, and then Layla walks in. No one is expecting her to be there, but she arrives, and she's a force to be reckoned with.
We're looking at 2 grandfathers and their grandchildren, which is a dynamic and a relationship that I don't think we oftentimes see in media and in theater especially. And so I think it's really awesome that we get to explore this and explore the differences between these people that are 50 years apart but still so closely connected and related, and how they work together and how they learn from one another and how they experience the world differently.
I think the learning process is always there in theater, and theater is all about exchanging experiences and becoming a family.
I loved rehearsing this show. I loved the actors I worked with, a cast that is a match made in heaven. What I want the audience to take away from the piece is that in some respects we are all the same, but in most respects we are the product of our environment and our lineage and the history and heritage that we come from.
It makes us look at the prejudices we all have inside of us.
Because the way that we grow is by really looking at those assumptions.
I think it's a great choice to have a comedy. People had too much drama and tragedy for the past year and a half now, and I think it's time to laugh and enjoy, and at the same time there's a heart in the script.
If you come to this play, you will laugh.